Hello there. Welcome back to another Starfield video. In today's video, we're going to be continuing our little mini-series regarding the Freestar Navy. So if you haven't checked out the series and this is your first time watching, I would recommend going back and checking some of the other videos. I will leave a link to the playlist. But the gist of it is I'm trying to envision if the Freestar Navy had an actual dedicated navy with ships and a trained crew. And with that being said, the idea is basically the Freestar collective going to the three main manufacturers in their territory, Hopetech, Stardeckland, and Taiyo, and asking them to make prototype vessels of a corvette, a destroyer, and a cruiser. So we've already fully covered the three corvettes, sorry, and we have covered the Stroud Eklund and the Hope Tech destroyer, and now we're on to the Taiyo destroyer, the final entry in the destroyer. So the main kind of premise behind the destroyers is that the vessels need to mount. The vessels need to mount, or they need to be sorry, they need to be B-class vessels. Unlike the corvettes that are more patrol vessels, these vessels they're going to have larger caliber weapons, preferably turreted and missile pods, and they're going to be like proper dedicated warships designed for anti-ship combat. The Taiyo one was kind of tricky because, as you can see, it looks quite plain. See, Taiyo pieces, like, they're really cool and they, like, look nice, but they don't play nice together. Whereas Stroud Eklund pieces all play really well together and they match multiple pieces. Taiyo doesn't. So let's really quickly, let's get into looking at the stats. Alright, sorry about that, there's a bit of a jump there. I was using a different model. I apparently didn't, basically loaded an earlier save. This is the newer model, the one that's like finalized. So yeah, going back to what I was saying, Taiyo, it's kind of tricky. Like, as you can see, like, it's clearly very Taiyo, but there's not a lot of pieces that allow you to kind of differentiate or like build it out from it. Like, it's almost like Taiyo's like, this is our infrastructure, you can have it this way or no way. But I feel like I did a decent job. So stat-wise, it's got fuel at 210, which is very nice. Now, obviously, the destroyer is going to have more kind of endurance than the corvettes because they're going to be kind of operating like out in the middle of nowhere, you know, doing their job, hunting down enemy fleets and stuff, small enemy fleets, mind you. So it's more than adequate. It's got a hull of 1206, which is very good for a B-class vessel. It's very good. It can clearly take a punch if need be, but with its weapon configuration, it's meant to play at range, at least at first. Cargo capacity is quite low, 280. Again, it's a combat vessel. It's not really meant to have cargo. So looking at the modules, we got a B-class reactor, 39 power, which is very, very nice. All of them are rocking the 39 power reactor, all the destroyers, which is very nice. Crew is 6, which is quite good. So with the setup with the destroyer versus the Corvette has like kind of a crew of 3 to 4, whereas the destroyer I'd like it a little bit more. Obviously, you're kind of limited on Starfield, but I feel like with these destroyers, they have like at least a bridge crew of 3. You've got like the captain, the helmsman, and then you've like your navigator, and then like in the combat information center or like the CIC. You would have your like weapons officers that would be controlling the guns and stuff. And then obviously the destroyer would have a complement of rangers, Freestar rangers on board to conduct boarding action or land-based operations if the need arises. It's got a jump range of 30 light years, which is really good. That gives it that kind of long-range endurance that is kind of key to a destroyer. They could kind of be out for like months on end, patrolling, not patrolling necessarily, but, you know, like hunting down like potential leads and stuff. It's got a shield of 1035, which is really good, pretty decent, gives it some good tankiness. And then for weaponry, it's got a pair of laser weapons that I believe I have merged in somewhere because Hope Tech doesn't have much mounting points. Hope Tech kind of, or not Hope Tech, sorry, Taiyo, I say Hope Tech because it's kind of funny because interior they're the same. Taiyo wanted to kind of push the envelope slightly because Taiyo being Taiyo, and they opted to do 2 turreted railguns on the top, whereas the other destroyers only did one. I just kind of felt like that's like Taiyo, you know, like Taiyo would be the ones that try and go above and beyond to show off. And then we've got those 2 missile pods mounted on those front, like, little kind of reverse engine thrusters, or the sensors, I think they are. And yeah, so the price to make this, it's 225,779, which is probably going to be about 250k. I made all of this at the Taiyo Esterneering level of the Ryushin Tower. So let's go take a look at it. So as you can see, like, I did a decent job of it. Like, this is the one I was, like, weirdly, when I was initially building these ships, I don't know if they're supposed to be held in by, like, magnets, or if Bethesda just forgot to mount them. Kind of anyway, I thought Hope Tech was going to be the trickier one to, like, kind of design, because it's very limited in its structural pieces. But I actually thought the opposite. It was Taiyo that was the trickiest, because while they have a load of pieces, like these, like, curved pieces, none of their pieces kind of slot together very well. So, like, if we go to the front here and we look at this little piece here, this piece looks really good, but it doesn't actually match anything. Like, this is the kind of the usual look of the Taiyo habitats, and structurally it has that curved. As you can see, it sticks out a little bit too much. I don't know why that's the case. It wouldn't be too bad if it was on the back. Yeah, so let's hop in anyway. Just go past those railguns. Very nice. I'm not sure if that's why, because these are the rapid fire railguns. If, like, Bethesda, like, it's a quad barrel railgun and that's how it fires rapid fire. I know this is like a few hundred years in the future, but I don't know. I feel like that wouldn't work. Railgun barrels are very, like, like precious, not precious, what's the word? They're very,
Ready to take off, Captain.
precise. Basically, they're very, like, you have to maintain them quite well. Because, yeah, they produce a lot of energy to propel the rounds. We've got a little 1x1 storage room here just down below. And then if we jump up here...
You better not be doing any mining out there without me.
Relax, relax. So we got the Taiyo slash Hope Tech armory here with a little brig for if you get any unruly crew members or you pick up some stragglers. We got some weapon cases here for storage. Then we got the docking port up there. So we go back with this one here. We have the crew control station, the CIC. Now this one does not have a living quarters for the crew, which was kind of a bit of a letdown. I really wanted to have one, but I was trying to keep it the same size, so we can just kind of chalk it up on, like, Taiyo being kind of pretentious. They're like, oh, they can sleep in their chairs. And then obviously we have the Taiyo bridge. Pretty nice bridge. Doesn't really feel like a combat bridge. I said this in the other video. It kind of seems to me like more like this would be the sort of, like, bridge that would make use of cybernetics, like, not cybernetics, augmentations, to kind of, like, you know, like, have, like, a hood or, like, a heads-up display. Anyway, let's take her off. Realistically, like, from a lore point of view, I could see Taiyo's being the most, like, effective because it uses cutting-edge technology. Obviously, in-game, it just steals fucking, steals Hope Tech's tech, but yeah. Let's take her off, see how she performs. So once again, it has more than enough power to the top of it. I initially thought about hiding those, like, missile pods, but the fact that it already hit the laser weapons, I kind of felt like it needs to be kind of mounted. So this is why, like, they need to, like, add more weapon types and hard points. So, as always, I have a perk that increases my power by 5, so for the sake of this review, we're not going to be using that 5 power. So we've got 3 power left over. Weapon-wise, we've got those lasers mounted there in front. Ballistics are obviously turreted, and then those 2 missile pods. It's got a boost speed of, it's going to be 140 because we're using those Slayton Aerospace engines there that match the style of the vessel. And then we got a boost speed of, I think the boost speed is quite good in this. Yeah, we're capping about 520. If you had the perk to increase your boost distance, it would go a lot faster, because as you see there, we capped out at our max boost almost halfway.
A pet. We live on a starship.
Nice, Cora. This is the perfect time to have pets. Anyway, we're going to do a quick pitch test. again, this thing is max mobility, which
I need somebody
is
to
quite
talk
nice.
to when I'm on the
Destroyers
ship
are
by
usually quite
myself.
nimble, even though like it's a dedicated warship. It's still quite like nimble and stuff, you know, because it needs to get the job done. But obviously, it's not going to be as nimble as the Corvette. So now we're going to go back down to our usual spot to do a review, or not a review, sorry, to do a teardown. All right, so here we are in the teardown. So it's pretty simple to build. There is some merge techniques, but it's still like at the end of the day, it's hard making Taiyo not Taiyo. So if we start at the front here, we have the Shogun cockpit from Taiyo 280 cargo to crew station. Behind that, we have the Taiyo control station 2x1 top B and the Taiyo armory 2x1 top B. We have the Extendoport 200 Docker top from Taiyo. Mounted on these equipment plates, we've got Jishaku FE rapid railgun turrets from Shinigami, B class, 1625 range, 5 fire rate, 18 hull damage, and 3 power each. We got 2 of them, unlike the other destroyers that only have 1 turreted weapon. For the engines, we've got 2 of these Nova 150 engines from Relodyne, B class, 3 max power, 22 170 engine thrust, 4500 maneuvering thrust. For the landing gear, we got 4 pinpoint 4G landing gear from Taiyo 2 lander thrust. I think I've mentioned this already, but all of this can be built at the Taiyo engineering building. And then for the structural pieces, we've got 2 of these cowling front pieces. And then we have 4 of these Taiyo mid caps, 2 on the port side, 2 on the starboard side. On the bottom of the vessel, we have the shipbed landing bay 200 from Taiyo. We have the Taiyo companionway 1x1. We have the RD 3000 beta grav drive from Relodyne, B class, 10 power, 36 jump thrust. And then we have the 104, the jump thrust, which gives us 30 light years range. We have the 104DS mag inertial reactor from Dogstar, B class, 39 power, 1125 reactor health. And then for the fuel, we've got a single H10 Atlas helium-3 tank from Dogstar 210. And then for the shield, we have the 44T Defender shield generator from Dogstar again, B class, 9 power, 1035 shield health, and 7 regen. For the structural pieces, we've got 2 of these Taiyo mid-cap starboard bottom, 2 of these port bottom. Mounted on 2 of these Horizon weapon mounts, we have 2 Singe P4 megawatt pulse lasers from Lightsite. A class, 1625 range, 6.65 fire rate, 5 hull damage, and 16 shield damage, and 4 power. And then for other structural piece, we've got 2 of these Taiyo cowling for bottom and the Taiyo forward sensor. I just realized again this is the wrong model. So the only real difference with this model is that we swapped out. Let me show you real quick. So we're gonna put the ship back together. So I had basically swapped out. These pieces sit like so, each side. This sits underneath. This is a simple merge like so. And then I put the 2 missile pods on the front. This is one of the issues on Xbox. I don't know if PC has an issue if you can like rename your save files on Xbox or on PC. But on Xbox, I've got like 5 or 6 files that are just like labeled Taiyo Astroneering. So it's kind of like tricky trying to be like which one is like the finished product versus not. So if we get the where are they? There they are here. Do these bad boys, they're gonna sit there with some weapon mounts like so. See, like I said, it was kind of tricky with the Taiyo ship because like it feels very kind of like Taiyo, but then I suppose that is Taiyo. Now for some of the structural pieces, I'm just going to show you real quick. So I have the Singe megawatt lasers. They're mounted here. So in order to get these, it's just a simple merge technique. You just put the landing gear and you just flip it back like so. And it's the exact same thing on the other side. So we've got the helium-3 tank mounted there. You just slap it in, flip it back. And then finally on the other side, the exact same thing again. Shield generator there, flip it back. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think. This finishes the all of the destroyers. So if you guys want to let me know in the comments which destroyer you think you like the most, and then which one you think is the more likely to be the kind of the the go-to. Weirdly, I feel like Hope Tech might be the one again, even though I feel like the Stroud one looks the nicest. Hope Tech's just pretty practical. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you like sort of content, and check out some of my other videos. Bye-bye.